So this is a short video on my experiences machining the James Madison 80% AR-15 polymer lower. Figured I'd put this out for people who may be considering picking one up and machining it on their own, and try to point out a few things to expect and consider before starting your own project. The lower I have here is a Gen 1 lower from James Madison. Picked this up probably 3 or 4 years ago, and the jig that's actually holding it up now is the jig that actually comes in the box with the lower. And the jig is probably one of the biggest reasons and benefits to ordering the lower through James Madison. It simplifies the machining process considerably. It spells out what holes to drill where. If you look at the top, it shows you the pockets that you'll be milling. You pull this plate off here, you mill out this pocket, you mill this pocket, then you pop this on, then you can actually go through and drill the through hole for the trigger. Really makes it nice because it helps hold everything real well, securely. Again, it simplifies where you're supposed to machine, type of stuff you're looking to do. The directions on James Madison's website are very clear, concise. I had no problems kind of following through with those. Never really had any questions considering, what I was supposed to do. The biggest thing that you want to look into before starting your project is trying to gather your tools. So the first tool they call out is the 3/8 drill bit. It's for drilling the through hole for the safety selector. Second, they've got a 5/32 drill bit. It's for your hammer and disconnector pins. That's just a drill a through hole. After that, there's a 5/16 drill bit or a cutter, and that's actually to drill the hole for the trigger to come through. And then of course a 5/16 end mill for doing the pocketing. The directions I had no problems with, like I said. The only thing I would have liked to seen is tolerances called out. So for example, in one of the tolerances was, I believe, 630 thousandths to the bottom of the pocket, and it would have been nice to know if that had a tolerance called out, what the shallowest I could go or what's the deepest I could have gone for the pocket. But other than that, I really had no problems with it at all. Nothing to really worry about. If you just shoot for that tolerance, the nominal tolerance, and it's not a big deal at all. So I did mine on a vertical mill. It's very similar to a Bridgeport. That worked great. As you can see, all the lines seem real clean. I had no handwork, practically no handwork to do. I couldn't have asked for a better way to do it, honestly. X, Y were controlled real well. Z, had no problem stepping it down until I got to my final depth. I have watched some YouTube videos, especially before I got into it myself. People that were doing theirs on benchtop drill presses, and I actually got one here that I've had for years. Very basic, kind of a cheaper one that my dad had. Works for little projects, but nothing. In my personal opinion, I probably wouldn't use one for doing something like that. You need something that you're going to be able to obviously control X and Y on to actually mill out your pocket. And you need something that you're going to be able to either step your Z down or raise your table up in increments so you can easily control. I suppose you could go in there, mill down a little bit, take a measurement, see where you are, and then just kind of step it in like that, but I'd be more afraid of actually going too deep, with the pocket and ruining it and not actually be able to use it for an actual gun build. So, unless you can set your drill press up with like an XY table, I know Harbor Freight has them, fairly cheap. You can pick one up, mount it to your drill press, and probably, get some good XY control out of it. But you're also going to want to make sure that your table, that you're setting your XY table on, is flat, stable, and that it's perpendicular to your Z-axis. And you also need the ability to index your Z and hold it there during your milling. So, like on a normal drill press, you pull the handle down, and as soon as you let go, it wants to retract. Well, that's not going to work very well if you're just trying to mill. If you're trying to mill a pocket out. So, unless you can take some time, put some money in to taking a little drill press like the one I showed you, and actually upgrading it so you do have those kind of capabilities, I personally wouldn't recommend trying it on a drill press. If you've got access to maybe a local machine shop, or if you know somebody that has a better setup, I would probably try to go with that instead. And again, I've even heard of people using hand drills to do it. Use a hand drill, kind of drill out most of the pocket, in this area, kind of multiple drill holes, and then just go in with a cutter or a file and just kind of file it out by hand. But I personally don't think that's a proper way of doing it anyway. So that's my thoughts and opinions on it, I guess. If it's something that you want to try, the worst you're going to do is ruin the lower, I suppose. But so give it a try. James Madison Tactical. They put out a good product. I think you'll be very satisfied with what you get, and the jig is going to help simplify things pretty considerably. So if you got the right setup and you got the patience, give it a go. You won't be disappointed in the least. So thanks for watching.